My name is Martha Phillips. I'm a representative of the League of Women Voters for the Jackson area. The League is a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization. We provide voter education to help people make informed choices. League never supports nor opposes any candidate or party. Hinds County voters, we have a special election on November 2nd. Please vote between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. to elect a new sheriff, a county judge, and a District 5 constable. Today, we have Sheriff candidate Torrence Mayfield with us. So happy to have you with us, Mr. Mayfield.
Thank you for having me.
To prepare for the interview, Mr. Mayfield, I will give you a question and you will have a minute and a half to answer each one.
Yes, ma'am.
The first question is, what is your experience in education that prepares you for the position of Hinds County Sheriff?
My education background, I have a master's in education administration. I am a former classroom teacher and administrator of the public school system. I am the former chief of the town of Edwards. I've had an opportunity to work in 6 of the 9 agencies in Hinds County. I am currently employed with the City of Jackson Police Department, working out of Precinct 2, and I am the police recruiter.
Okay. The Hinds County Detention Center is under the U.S. Department of Justice consent decree, demanding improvements at the detention center. How will you address the consent decree?
Well, the only way that I see that erosion being corrected is a new facility. To continue pumping money into a structure that is not correctable, I think is a waste of the taxpayers' money. We need a new facility and we need it right away. Jackson currently is better than an 80% paying customer to RDC, which is a pretrial detention center. And right now, they can't lock anybody up. Any misdemeanors are what we call field release. If I give you a sheet of paper and say, Miss Phillips, I need you to return to court November 19th, you're not going to show up to court. You know, you're going to say you take your chances and getting stopped on traffic stops. So we need to make sure that everyone who runs afoul of the law is put in custody until they are presented in front of a judge, and then a judge renders a decision one way or the other. So to answer your question, how do we correct the consent decree? We're going to have a new facility. The one that we currently have, the maintenance and upkeep has not been up to par. And I don't think you can bring it up to par.
Okay. How do you plan on recruiting, training, and retaining more officers in Hinds County?
We're in a different age right now of policing. This is not the policing that my uncle went through when he was a deputy. It's a different atmosphere, body cameras, videos, the way that you police and how you communicate and talk with the public in general. You have to kind of regenerate, reformulate how you go about doing things. Being over 50, you have to be able to relate with other generations. I don't like to say millennials, just other generations. It's believing in what you see. I am one of the state instructors at JPD right now. I'm state certified, and I'm also the police recruiter. So you have to be creative to bring people back into this field. This field is not a South-out choice anymore. Nobody wants to police anymore. So you're going to have to be creative in recruiting. And my way of being creative is showing people that there's a need for public service, to be a public servant. I'm a public servant, and I want to do right by everybody.
Okay. What are your strategies for crime prevention to make Hinds County safer?
Well, strategically, one of the problems that we come across right now are the violations of speeding, four-wheelers, dirt bikes in the city. Again, this goes back to the original question that you asked me about RDC and the consent decree. If you don't have a place to incarcerate people who run afoul of the law, then whatever plan you put in place is going to be frivolous. So it goes back to the origin of what we started. If I don't have a place to house you, whatever uh, strategy that I come up with is going to be just that, a strategy. Because at the end of the day, if we don't have a place to put you, then you're still out on the streets. So that crime is going to get repeated. So the only ones that they're keeping right now are Class A felonies, murderers, um, aggravated assault. But the misdemeanors, let's be clear, they lead up into felonies. So we need to be able to lock up misdemeanors as well as felonies.
Okay. And the last question. Law enforcement in Hinds County consists of the sheriff's office plus police departments in 6 municipalities. How do you see all these agencies working together to be more effective?
Well, we have Hinds County. We have 3 cities, Jackson, Clinton, and Byram, and we have 5 towns, which are 8. You have Edwards, Raymond, Utica, Bolton, and Terry. Collectively, for me, if I'm elected the new sheriff, I would like to have a meeting with all the heads at least once a month. You have to share information. Without sharing information, you're working separate and idle of each other. We all work in Hinds County. Everything rests and rides on Hinds County being successful throughout the entire state. So it would be indicative of the sheriff-elect to make sure that he sits down at a round table and he has all the other 8 agencies along with himself at a table, and they discuss problems that they're having in their particular areas. What way can the sheriff department help better curb those crimes, and work collectively together, transfer information from Edwards to Jackson or Jackson to Byram, and so forth and so on. Make sure that we have information sharing going on.
Okay. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to us today, Mr. Mayfield. It was very informative, and I believe our voters will find it to be that way also. And I want to take the time to remind our voters to go and vote on November 2nd. Thank you again for taking the time today with me.
Thank you, Ms. Phillips. Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.